This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
And welcome to the African American Scene, presented this evening by Martin County Roofing. And your host, Rudy Howard.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am so happy to have Martin County Roofing be a sponsor for my show. He's a wonderful guy. And I would tell you, if you have roofing needs, please give him a call. He's very professional. And I am sure he will treat you right. And if he doesn't, tell me, and I certainly will advise him of staying. Well, for those of you not my age, it may not have hit you the way it hit me, but the death of Sidney Poitier hit me kind of upside the head, because I can think of some of the landmark movies that he made. My sister's favorite is Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Mine too. I remember seeing that. Yes.
I had to pull it up and watch it after I found out that he died. And I still get the same emotional reaction that I had the first time I saw it, because that's pretty revolutionary at that time, Carol.
It was certainly at that time, but also, it was very, very relevant.
Yes, it was. And I think it was the thing about that too was you had a son who was trying to spread his wings and let his father know that he was a man and that he was capable of making decisions for himself. So I'm just so touched by that. And then, of course, one of the other great scenes that most African Americans talk about to this day is In the Heat of the Night, when the man smacked him and he smacked him back. And if you think about the time that was when he did that, that was still a time when you might have got lynched for doing something like that, but it was in the movie. I know when I saw the movie the first time and the guy smacked him and he smacked him back, I went, whoa.
It's interesting how perspectives change over the years, where we see something now and that looks normal. But back then, yeah.
And you know what's funny? We have a group that meets every Friday night on Zoom. And we've been doing it now for almost a little over 2 years. And one of our members, a sweetheart, but she's a lot younger than us. Most of us went to college together. She thought to herself, what's the big deal about him smacking the guy? The guy was a jerk. He should have been smacked. And we had to tell her what the significance of that was. And she said, oh, I had no idea. I said, yeah. I said, back then, I said, I'll give you another little tidbit information, people. A lot of people don't know. Those first Black police officers in cities like Atlanta, they were not allowed to arrest white people. They could only arrest Black people. That's a little fact most people don't know. So, but anyway, and he gave me a newfound appreciation for life, and we're going to talk about that this evening. 94 years old. My God, I think he did pretty doggone good. 94 years old. He had a good life. And I have adopted the philosophy now that if you get to 80, everything over that is a bonus. That's the way I look at it.
But 65, 70, 75 and up doesn't seem nearly as old as it used to.
No, it doesn't. No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Well, if you're listening to the show for the first time, well, first, let me run this by. I have an idea I'm throwing out to you guys, and I'm going to welcome your feedback during the course of the show. I'm thinking I would like to have a forum outside the radio station where I get one Republican and one Democrat and make it a open forum for people to attend and have them talk about their differences in a civilized manner. I can't say it's an original idea. I saw something on 60 Minutes that kind of inspired me about this idea. You saw it too, huh?
Saw it, yes. That was one-on-one, so that was a little controlled.
Yes. So what I think I'd like to do is one-on-one with an audience, and then after, so what if we put a time frame 30, 45 minutes, and then at the end of that, then I'd like to open it up to the audience and solicit their feedback. If it works, I'd like to do it like once a quarter. Got to find a place to have it. And then I got to see whether or not you like the idea. If you like the idea, because, and let me tell you what inspires me about the idea. In the past year, I've had probably 4 occasions when I was at Walmart where somebody came up to me and said, well, I really don't like Democrats. Well, why don't you like them? And after we got finished talking, she said, I guess I really didn't know why I didn't like Democrats. I said, yeah. So, you know what I mean, Carol? After you got a chance to talk one-on-one.
When you meet somebody, yeah,
yes,
you like them.
Yeah, right.
It's harder.
Right. So now she met me and she said, well, I like you. You're different. I said, no, I'm not. I'm a Democrat, but I'm not different. I'm like, there's more Democrats like me than not like me, believe me. So that's my theory. So if you think it's a good idea, please call 340-1590, 340-1590. If this is your first time listening to my show, here's how it goes. I give you the topics that I'm throwing out for tonight. I encourage you to speak on them, and then I will go back and add depth to the topic in particular. Now I have 4 topics for tonight. 1, this one was fascinating. There's a teen movement to protect reading literature in the high school libraries. In York, PA, a group of teenagers protested about the books that the school board wanted to throw out. Item number 2, St. Lucie County Schools graduation rate is wonderful. I am so proud and so pleased to talk to you about this because as a member of the Economic Development Council and past president of the chamber, I often would talk to people that would come in to this area and they were told to go move to Vero Beach or Stewart so their kids can get a better education. And I was usually the lone voice in the group saying, there's no reason why you can't bring your kids to St. Lucie County. Well, now we have concrete proof. So I'm going to talk more about that. The St. Lucie County Schools graduation rate. 3, why is the right so angry? I wish you would just really call up and tell me why. What you're so PO'd about. Why? Just tell me why. I've read books. I read Angry White Man by Michael Kimmel. I read another book that attempted to explore that. I can't think of the author's name right now. But so I have been searching, trying to understand what it is that has you so angry. And I haven't really been able to put my finger on it. So I welcome your thoughts about that. No judgment, just want to hear what your thoughts are. And last, my 4th topic is life expectancy. This is an interesting one. And I came upon that topic with the death of Sidney Poitier. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the life expectancy of the US and how we stack up against other people. Okay, again, that number is 340-1590. Teen movement. In York, Pennsylvania, which is just across the line from Maryland, the teenagers in the school there protested the books that were being removed from the library. It was all teenagers, no parents involved at all. They thought it was wrong. They thought it was offensive. They wanted to remove things like James Baldwin, Hidden Figures, all these books.
Hidden Figures. We saw that movie.
Yes.
That was great.
I know.
Why would that be removed? On what basis?
Carol, I have no idea. When I saw that was one of the books that they wanted to remove, I was like, really?
Just, if anybody hasn't heard, this was African-American women who worked for NASA and did some, very, very complicated math computations when the first satellites and manned spaceflight went up.
That's correct.
And my favorite scene in that is where, the woman who's done the computation is a little bit off from what the computers are telling them. And the astronaut says, I'll go with her. And she was right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was right.
She was. The other favorite scene in there is when somebody was questioning why she wasn't at her desk. And she told Kevin Costner, I'm not allowed to go to the bathroom in this building.
She had to walk a long way. Yeah.
Right.
Right. He changed that though, right after that.
Yes, he did. He went in there and took that sign down. But, and let me tell you, that kind of a story is so important. It's just like with the graduation rate. Now, and I said this to one of my conservative friends on the show here, or I guess maybe about a month or so ago. Part of the graduation rate increase started with Obama. And you can go back and you can check that during his tenure as president, the graduation rate was rising. Now, did Obama actually make the graduation rate rise? No. No. But what Obama did is he was a beacon of hope. See, y'all don't get that part of it. he was a beacon of hope. Kids now were looking at the president and going, you know what, I got a shot. Maybe not a long shot. It might be a long shot, but I do have a shot at being president versus prior to him being a president, nobody could think you had a shot. And I'm ashamed to say this, but there was a group of people I have known for a long time. When he first announced his candidacy, they said, never gonna happen. They said, it will never happen. I said, well, and actually I was unsure, and God rest his soul, I made a bet with a friend of mine who was positive he was going to be the president. And it cost me a steak dinner for him and his wife. So at Peter's Steakhouse.
Which you gladly.
I
gladly
gladly paid. Yes. So listen to what we got. Again, phone number, if you want to make comments, our phone number is 340-1590. The graduation rate in St. Lucie County was 95%. That is pretty doggone awesome. The statewide average is 90%. This is the 5th year in a row St. Lucie County Schools graduation rate is above 90%. And what I have always felt about St. Lucie County Schools that gets overlooked when people are measuring which schools are better, Vero or Martin County. St. Lucie County has a bundle of academies that are available for kids to take that they don't have in those other two counties. You know, we got aeronautics at Fort Pierce Central. We got the Harbor Branch Association to increase your scientific knowledge on that. We have the veterinarians program at Westwood, where you can do your pre-learning about being a veterinarian. So we have the engineering program my son was involved in at Treasure Coast High School. So St. Lucie County has some good schools, and this proves it. So there is no reason to listen to people telling you that if your kids want to have a good education, they got to go to Martin County or Vero Beach. That's a bunch of hooey. And I'm being polite with that.
Thank you.
Okay, we are now check this out, the 7th best district out of the 67 districts in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, that's quite a stat.
That's awesome. That means we have a very high level quality schools. And I am so proud to live here and wouldn't want to go anyplace else anymore. So let me give you some of the individual LPA graduation rate, 100%. Mosaic Digital Academy, I don't know much about them. Do you know anything about them?
I have heard of it. I should.
Yes, you and I.
Before we say anything, yeah, we should find out.
Yeah, because you and I, who are involved in everything. But anyway, they have 100% graduation rate. Now, for my friends at Fort Pierce, who are listening, you'll be very, very proud of this. Fort Pierce Central has a 99.6% graduation rate. And there are several of my friends who are retired educators from Fort Pierce Central.
Mosaic Digital Academy goal is to provide fully accredited online public school options built for K through 12 personalized learning. So it's fully online. That was one of the options during the pandemic. If you could either do kind of part online, part class, or you could do entirely digital.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. St. Lucie West, Centennial, 98.3. All right. The Eagles. Well, here's my prejudicial school, because my son graduated from there, Treasure Coast Titans, 98.8. Port St. Lucie High School, 98.5, and Westwood, 95.9. That is truly awesome.
Congratulations to all.
Yes, yes. The people just work tirelessly to try to pump us, build us the greatest educational system available. And I think they did. And, you know, people like Catherine Hensley, who's no longer on the board, Donna Mills, you know, they've done a really, really good job. And this is the result of that work. Okay, so again, if you have any questions about that, the phone number is 340-1590. But hooray to St. Lucie County. We've got an awesome public school system. Go tell your friends, go tell family members who might have thought that we were behind Martin County or Indian River County. We are not. My next topic. Why is the right so angry? I'm not sure why. Why? What is making you so mad at the system? What is it about the system that has created your anger and hostility? I'm not quite sure I understand. A lot of the things that Democrats want for the people are things that's going to help you too. Just take, for instance, the Obamacare. We had one of the biggest productions of Obamacare since it's been done. It's like up like 28%. Who does that help? That's not a Democratic thing. Democrats may have been the ones that pushed it in, but there's certainly an awful lot of Republicans I know for sure are getting health care benefits because there is Obamacare. And President Biden, who you like to call Brandon in the most disrespectful way, President Biden increased subsidies so that people in higher income brackets were able to get more subsidies in order to make health insurance more affordable. So I don't know. Is that an anti-democratic move?
But the interesting, when Obamacare was being debated and pushed on through, we had no idea we'd be facing a pandemic. When you look now, where you think the value of healthcare is so much more defined for everything.
Well, absolutely. I think the pandemic has made healthcare very much an important issue, because those people that were unable to get proper healthcare some of them are the ones that died because they weren't able to secure some of the basic stuff, so they get hit without any chance. You know, I have placed people with Obamacare, some of which I've placed and it didn't cost them anything. Now, you can argue about whether they should be that way or not, but it is what it is in terms of providing people an opportunity for protection. Should the government do that? I guess some of you might be saying, why should the government do that? Well, I would suggest to you, my friends, something that the great Reverend William Barber has said over and over again, and something that sticks with me. A budget is a moral document. It is a moral document. It's a statement about how you want to treat your people and what you are prepared to invest in your people to help them be all that they can be. Now, let me say this to you. I don't want to go get preachy, but I think we had a time when things were pretty much on track in my mind. And that was in the 70s. Perfect? No. But was it on track? Yes. I think after we got beyond some of the civil rights issues we had in the 60s, the 70s showed a lot of progress. There was a lot of movement for people to go up the ladder of success. It just seemed like a much more equitable time. Most places you went to, there was a pension. There wasn't a 401k. So you were able to get a pension in order to protect yourself when you retire. All those things are gone now. Those things do not exist. And while you keep supporting people that want to take those things away, those are the things that are hurting you. I know, Carol, you and Greg are in a different situation because one of my best friends from college, who I'm on a Friday night meeting with, he has what you have. He was in the media. So he's got that retirement plan from the broadcasters situation. So I don't know. I just think that there is some way we can talk about what needs to be done and try to help all Americans. Is that something that offends you, to help other Americans? I don't know. If that offends you, let me know. I really want to know why you are so angry. What would make you so angry that you would march on the Capitol and want to destroy it? I don't think that you could have possibly ever been as angry as I have been. I can tell you that. I doubt that very seriously. I could think of several times when I was angry, so angry that I was spitting fire. And namely one, I will tell you just for the sake of openness. When President Obama presented his birth certificate, I felt hate like I never felt in my life. I mean, for about 48 hours, I was filled with hate beyond reasonable calculation. I was just so upset that he was humiliated like that. It took me about 72 hours to get over that, but boy, I'll tell you what, I never even knew. I never even knew that was inside of me the way I felt about that. But anyway, so you have the right call. But we are going to take a little break. Again, that phone number is 340-1590, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back with the African American scene.
At Martin County Roofing, we build trust with quality work. I'm Derek Alcius, owner of Martin County Roofing with more than 20 years experience in the roofing and construction industry. Whether you need a repair, restoration, or a new roof, both residential or commercial, we offer a seamless client experience, and we serve the entire Treasure Coast. Fully licensed and insured, we specialize in tile, metal, shingle, or flat roof. Contact us today for a free estimate at martincountyroofing.com.
Hi, this is Rudy Howard, your independent insurance agent. I now specialize in Medicare, health insurance, and small group insurance. That number is 475-8856. Same great service, more flexible hours. Just give me a call, 475-8856.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
And we are back with the African American scene presented by Martin County Roofing and your host, Rudy Howard.
Okay, let me get to my final topic. Life expectancy. I have to tell you, with the death of two people, John Madden, Sidney Poitier, I have a new philosophy. And the research I did for this topic, if you get to 80, everything after that is pretty much a bonus. So that's how I'm looking at it, that if I can get to 80, everything after that is a big bonus. At 80, I will have seen my two granddaughters reach the teenage years. One of them will be in high school, the other one be in middle school. And everything after that will be great. I see him graduate, see him get married, whatever, but I'm just hopeful. But anyway, let's talk about this life expectancy. The US life expectancy has declined in recent years.
Yeah, that we don't expect to happen. You know,
I know.
It doesn't in this country, you think.
I know. But it's happened over the last few years. Our life expectancy has declined. Now, here's a little tidbit for you. US life expectancy is 43 out of 224 countries. We're 43 out of 224 countries. At the top is Monaco with 89.4 as the average age. Japan, 85.3. Singapore, 85.2. And the US, 78.5. Isn't that interesting?
It is. You try to think diet, vacations,
We're going to talk about some of that.
Okay.
But one of the things that I think is kind of interesting, other than Japan, and Japan's borderline, those top three are all warm weather countries.
Mhm. Sure.
So there's a life expectancy that's a little better in warm weather than in cold weather.
Does that hold up? I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
Now, Sidney Poitier was in the Bahamas, right? So
Yeah.
nice, warm,
Yeah.
warm island. Yeah.
In the US, at that 78.5, the average age for men is 76. The average age for women is 81. So if you break it down by gender, the men are 5 years earlier to go than the wife. So interesting.
I think that has been the trend for a long time.
Yes,
Yeah,
it has
that's
been.
right.
Yes. Now here's the big one. And some of this really surprised me. By ethnicity, African American life expectancy, 74.6. Native Americans, 76.9. Whites, 78.9. This is the one that kind of blew me away. Latinos, 82.8. And Asians, which I expected that one to be high, 86.5. Isn't that interesting?
It is.
African American death rate is even higher than the Native Americans. I don't know. That's something. And then the Latinos, it must be something to do with diet, I think.
There are a lot of medical studies about the impact of salt and salty foods, brings blood pressure up, causes all kinds of problems. But
Yeah. Yeah, my wife is on an anti-salt. Now, we stopped using salt probably 15 years ago, put salt in our food. But certainly there's salt in some of the processed food that we eat.
Supposedly 30% of the salt you take in comes out of a salt shaker. 70% is just in your food.
Yeah.
It's either prepared food or there's some inherent sodium.
Mm, mm, mm. But it makes you want to think. So I then took to the next step. Causes. Here are the 10 major causes of shortened life expectancy. Cancer, unintentional injuries, obesity, chronic lower respiratory diseases, stroke, Alzheimer's, diabetes, influenza, kidney disease, and suicide. What do you think?
Well, there's several of those that you see in African American populations.
Yes.
And it comes back, usually kind of back to diet.
Obesity is definitely a problem in my culture, as well as diabetes. Suicide, not so much. You don't see a lot of suicide among African American people. Alzheimer's, that's another thing that you don't find a lot of in the African American community, but you do have some, one very famous person. I don't know if you were familiar with Charles Ogletree. He was a law professor at Harvard, and he ran a program on PBS that I loved called Philosophy. He would dissect different issues with a panel of famous news people and writers, and they would debate the outcome of that. I absolutely loved that program. And he also taught Michelle and Barack Obama. But he's suffering from Alzheimer's. And that's a real shame because the man is absolutely brilliant. So what do you think? I think we have some control over some of these outcomes, Carol. What do you think?
Back when I was a reporter, I covered several stories in the medical area where they were really trying to work with African-American populations and to bring the habits down that could help bring their blood pressure down.
Yeah.
And a lot of it comes back to what they're eating.
Yeah, we don't have the best diets in the world. Although I would tell you that you will find quite a few African Americans have changed their eating habits. My sister, who I can vouch for her, that she did not grow up vegan. My sister now is a vegetarian.
Oh, okay.
And she's lost a lot of weight and she looks great. We will go maybe a day or two and not have meat. But then after that, we usually get back to having some kind of meat, chicken, fish, shrimp, steak, something. What about you guys?
Yeah, we all try it for a day or two.
Yeah, right, exactly, yeah. Yeah, like one day last week, we had these pretty shrimp, and I made a salad, and we put the shrimp on the salad, and we ate the salad with the shrimp, and I felt so good about that meal. But about 1 o'clock in the morning, I woke up, I was pretty hungry. You know, that's the problem when you eat like that. It doesn't have any staying power, you know. But yeah, and it wasn't on here, but I would venture to say lack of exercise is another issue. I have to speak for myself, and I hate to admit this, but I'm getting a little wobbly from time to time, you know, and I know that's just nothing but Father Time catching up with me when I'm a little wobbly. And I can improve that by doing more exercise. I like doing the water aerobics. I'm into that. Have you ever tried that?
Yes, yes.
You like it?
Or just plain swimming, you know,
Yeah.
it's, yeah.
Yeah, I like the water aerobics. I have a class there's a class on Mondays and a class on a Wednesday that I go to. It used to be 5 days a week before COVID. It was 5 days a week. So you could usually get a good workout one of those days, you know. And I would like to get it back up so that it was at least 3 days a week, you know. And then I try to go to the golf course, and hit golf balls and play some golf. And fortunately, I'm so blessed. My wife wants to chase me out of the house. Go do something. And I go, well, I'm okay. No, I want you to go to the golf course. Go hit some golf balls. I go, okay, all right. most guys, their wife don't want them to go. And my wife is like, go with some golf balls. Go take a walk. So,
That's fair, see?
yeah,
Good exercise.
but she's a sweetheart. She knows that I need to, I've always been very physical. And I'm at this point in my life where I'm not as physical anymore. And she's trying to encourage me to be more physical, So everybody's very quiet tonight. I know for some people, they still not catching up with me on Mondays. I know that.
There was a storm that hit just as we were going on the air. It was
Yes.
wow.
And I know some people, especially people that were raised in traditional, old-fashioned Black family homes. When it storms, you turn everything off, sit in the dark, quiet. I can remember my grandmother doing that to us, and I never understood why you did that. But the storm would come, and she'd say, turn off all the lights. And she'd say, you have to be quiet. Okay. No phones, no lights, no nothing. I don't know what she would do now with all these laptops and cell phones, but we have to sit there. We have to sit there in the quiet, in the dark.
And it's safe through all those storms, right?
Yeah, that was her. My mom's rule. You had to be quiet, and my mother had the same rule. When the storm came, no talking on the phone. You gotta hang up. We can't talk on the phone. But anyway, I still would like to hear from you. If you guys think that it'd be a good idea to try that forum where I had one conservative and one Democrat to have a discussion and with a live audience, and then leave it open for comment. If you think that's a good idea, give me a call, 340-1590. That's 340-1590. And I would tell you that I gotta go and see. I watched, the other thing I watched beside, I guess who's coming to dinner, I watched To Serve with Love. That was another classic Sidney Poitier film. He went in that class with those kids and he got them turned around. And it was not easy. I was looking at that and I was thinking to myself, boy, that was quite a challenge he took. And he was an engineer. He decided to stay at the end. He tore up that letter, had the ticket and everything to go for that new job. He decided to stay with the kids. I was going to be a teacher.
I was at one, you're several different things by the time you grow up, but I was a high school teacher, yes.
You were?
Well, I was, yes, I thought about it. That was one goal, probably when I was in high school. But
that was my goal too. I wanted to be a high school teacher and a basketball coach. That was my goal. Be a high school teacher and a basketball coach. And I wonder to this day how that would have gone along had I been able to be a basketball coach and a high school teacher. I don't know. The teacher part of me has always been there. And from time to time, I've done some teaching. Like I was adjunct at IRSC for a couple of years. That was kind of hard though, because you can prepare for class, and then if class don't come, then you don't get paid. So yeah, that's like,
okay.
That happened to me 2 or 3 times, and after the third time, I said, you know what? You can take me off the list, because you know you have to do all your own preparation because there's no books. You adjunct, and I was doing an adjunct in insurance, so I would go out and make all the copies and produce all the documents, and then if I come to the class and they say, well, the class is canceled. I go, okay. So now the time invested in preparation and producing the documents, that's down the window. No, as much as I like teaching, I don't like to do it for charity. Please, you know.
I do all that work and not teach a class, yes.
Yes, yeah, I'll do some charity. That goes with the turf, but come on, that's not you can't take a regular dose of that. But in any event, so Martin Luther King Day next Monday. Anything special planned? I don't know. We're going to have. I know they're going to have some events in the city. Are you going to take us into any of the events in the city?
You know, I'm not sure what the schedule is right now, but we should know, and I'm sure we'll have that on the air if we get closer to.
Okay.
Yeah, to Monday.
Well, if we can, I think we should do some, you know, they're going to have it at Whispering Pines Park. So if we can do something from there, it might not be a bad idea. Right? So, I don't know. Let's see. But in any event, I would like to think that we had a pretty good show tonight, although it was very quiet. I offered you a lot of information. And I am so stoked about the St. Lucie County Schools. I love you guys and all of the retired teachers and friends of mine. You did your work and it has now come through. I would like to thank you so much for tuning in to the African American scene. God bless and be safe. And I will see you next Monday right here for the African American scene.
Thank you for joining us. The African American Scene brought to us by Martin County Roofing. Your host, Rudy Howard.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.